Hi, I'm Mark Camoccio, Mart TV, and I've got an interesting vintage rifle here to show you. Fans of spring rifles will appreciate that Walther launched, and I went to the factory to see it all, which was rather fascinating, the modern Walther LGV, which I think they've sadly discontinued, or they're not bringing them in so much over here. But there was a much older version of the LGV, which was based on there was the Walther LG 53 and 55. And the LGV stood for the German initials, and they basically meant improved air rifle, and they sort of went to town on the spring piston. It's a target rifle, it's rather neat, lovely looking little thing, and it's very heavy, can't quite appreciate it, but it's 10.4 pounds, which is quite a handful. Of course, a lot of that weight is coming from the ball barrel, which is basically a very heavy barrel sleeve that's bolted on. A key feature of this is that it's got the barrel lock system, and of course you'll recognise that on the modern Walther LGV. That was, they sort of brought those features over. But this was all based around a target rifle. It's spring piston powered, but it's a target gun, and all the top target guns at the time were spring powered. This was launched about 1963-64, and this particular one would have been built between 63 and 66, looking at the serial number on it. I'm not quite sure it seems a bit vague as to when they carried on making them to, but I believe it was sort of mid-70s that there was some version of these. But yeah, it's very, very nice, quite a sleek walnut stock. There was an LGV Olympia version which looked almost identical to that, but it had an adjustable butt pad. Then there was another variant that had there were two trigger blades effectively, and it was an enhanced trigger, and apparently that was banned by the ISU, the sort of the target shooting body, just as they perfected it. Sort of some interesting features about the history of these guns. It's obviously you've got the open sight, so you've got the diopter style sight there, particularly nice trigger. But yeah, I'll just show you the cocking on that. So basically lift that lever up, bring that back. It's the sweetest feeling. You can feel the engineering on the whole mechanism inside. Of course, these are low powered, so you're talking about sub 6 foot-pounds. That clocks up. Just fire that off. The most precise two-stage trigger as well. The target gun, obviously it's not got the power to hold back, but it's very, very precise. Everything feels just particularly well made, and this has been obviously lovingly looked after. Another interesting feature you might be able to pick out in there, reinforce the pistol grip. There's a wooden peg there so that it gave added strength. The diopter style target sights that you use in indoor 10-meter air rifle shooting. Got your back aperture assembly, and these are very specialised. You've got different aperture sizes, blank off plates, etc. You've got all different things you can get for these, but this was a very precise unit made by Walther themselves. Moving to the foresight, you've got the classic foresight element there, and it has again interchangeable elements. So you can put a post or a circle, different varying size circles. Classic interchangeable foresight. But again, it's got all the detail you needed, and of course at the time these were serious target models. Coming back to that, we're just looking close at that lever. So it's spring loaded. You just pull that down, and then it releases the breech. And Walther machined quite a clever sort of tape and profile in that breech, which guaranteed that the barrel was really solid and there wasn't any lateral play. And yeah, it's very neat and very clever. Just lock that up again. Now with those stocks, as I say, this looks like this sort of Olympia style, and with that beech stock and the sort of curved profile there. They also made a junior version apparently, and there were Tyrolean stocks. I mean, my dad had very similar profile to this. He had the Viarc 55T, and Walther did, and that was Tyrolean stocked. Walther did one of those as well, which has got a really nice Tyrolean concave cup. And yeah, it's all very nice. The final thing with these, they went on to do an LGV special, a bit like Wiscombe, where he used 4 springs. He used 2 springs going in the same direction, but they wound in the opposite directions. So of course that all helped with killing a bit more recoil. But I say at 10.4 pounds and that ball barrel, there's not a lot of recoil to worry about. But yeah, very interesting rifle and beautifully made, you know, as you'd expect from Walther. So that's the Walther LGV.